The Dodge is broke. The transmission quit working. I'd been babying it for a couple years now. It was hunting gears all the time and slipping, and finally a couple weeks ago it just let off going down the freeway. It was like a false neutral. Somehow it would land first gear and I was able to limp it home like 10 miles. Got it home, then the next day I didn't even have first gear anymore. I dropped the pan, there's a bunch of crud in there. It's time to pull this puppy out. Let's get to it. Alright, let's start with the drive lines. It should just pull out of there, which it did. We'll just store all these parts in here. Alright, next we're going to do this front drive line. These torques are lame in the front of this thing. There's like no room. It's awkward. That's not even gonna work, I don't think. I forgot how to do this. Oh yeah, okay, you do the bottom ones right there. Alright, let's try to get this other end. Alright. Using sandwich bags. Okay, we're going to take these connectors off this transfer case. There's one. There's two. I think that's it. And then we're going to take these nuts off and pull that T-case off the back. Oh, I can't breathe. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's not really that heavy. We're good. Alright, we got her inside now. Winter kind of closed in on us out there. It's about 13 degrees. Not too warm. So I want to do this outside so we could just spill the tranny fluid, not on the garage floor. But it's too cold out there. So let's get this finished in here. Alright, let's get this cover off. All right, let's go for this cover. There we go, we got that exposed. This is the tool that rotates the engine over. That's the one I bought. I bet there's cheaper ones out there. This goes on a 3/8 drive. Let me just get that guy in there. And we want to rotate it so the crank's turning clockwise. There we go. So we rotate it. We rotate it until you can see the bolt in that hole. And then we take those out one by one. And then the torque converter will be released from the flywheel. Alright, I got them all out. There were 6 of them up there. There's our torque converter. You can see it's not hooked up no more. That wasn't too bad. That was pretty easy. You gotta have that tool though. You've got to have that tool. Gotta have the bar over tool. I made it way easy. Well, I'm getting pulled off this project again. I'm gonna undo these transmission lines right now. I'm blinding you. So it can leak out while we're gone and not on us. Okay, I got all those connectors unhooked. That was not fun. Next thing we're gonna do is let's go after most of these bell housing bolts. And then, let's see if I can get on here. Oh, got it. There's one. I'll get most of these off and then we'll get transmission jack out. And then I'll take this back mount off, and man, this is not gonna come out fun because I can't take the transmission cross member out. And I'll show you why here in a bit. All right, I got the rear tail cross members all unbolted, the trans mount rather, the rear mount. I got all the bell housing bolts except one out. Cross member's still in. I'm still not ready to admit to you guys what I did, why that's still in. Here in a second, I'll let you know. Let's get a Harbor Freight transmission jack under here and back this thing off the engine and try to finagle this out of here somehow. I don't know. It would be amazing if somehow this thing tilted downwards and we could miss this engine and get this out without removing that cross member. Let's try it. Touch. I'm going to change that whole as well. Oh, this is pretty low. Down the wheel. Down the wheel. Oh, yes. Like that. Can I tilt more? I can tilt more. Down the wheel. Down the wheel. Get on the side. That's on the way. Alright, I got her jacked up off the ground. Let's see if she gives us the clearance. I'm ready to talk to you guys about why I couldn't pull the cross member. Years ago, like 10 years ago when I built this truck, I put this long arm lift kit on here. Like the links usually used to mount up there, and you cut all that stuff off and it moves everything back here. And when I got this lift kit, they give you like some chintzy nut zerts that are supposed to go in here, and you can bolt this bracket to the frame. Well, I'm like, that's cheesy. I'm gonna break that the first time I go off-roading this thing. I'm just gonna weld this on. Well, in doing so, I didn't realize I was trapping in the transmission cross member. So even if you unbolted it right there, it wouldn't come out because these brackets are holding it in, and this upper one's holding it in topside. So you can't pull it from the top or the bottom. I really screwed up when I did that. I wasn't thinking, and 10 years later it's here to bite me. But I mean, the old one came out pretty easy. I think the new one's gonna come in just as easy, I hope. So not too big of a screw up, but it did make that transmission a little weird. Cool. New one's here. Let's get this out and see what that's all about. Yeah, here she is on our Harbor Freight jack. Let's try to get her installed here. Built with pride, Arvada, Colorado. There's two reasons why I went with ATS. One, they took a firm, which is like a finance company. And two, they accepted my core before charging me for the transmission. Most of these places want $2,000 for the core, and I wasn't willing to put out that kind of money to get the rebate, so I sent them my transmission first, and then they, you know, canceled out the core charge. So that was a nice feature. Just taking those torque converter brackets off. I'm gonna get it mated, and then I'm gonna pull these back out, put Loctite on them, and retorque them. I'll check back in with you after I get this done. Alright, I got the top bell housing bolts Loctited and torqued in. I want to get the rear cross member mount in here so we can get the jack out of the way, and then I'll redo those bottom bolts on the bell housing. Look at that oil pan. That's kind of cool. It kind of hangs lower than the oil pan of the engine. I hope I don't bash that on a rock or something one day. Looks cool though. Holds a lot more fluid than stock. Alright, those are all torqued to spec, Loctited. Now we gotta do the torque converter. This is my least favorite part of this job. Gonna get our barring tool in there. Do what we did last time. I'm not gonna film any of this. I'm gonna torque the torque converter to 35 foot-pounds. I, for the life of me, could not find the torque value for the bell housing. I did 36 foot-pounds. I have no idea if that was correct or not. Alright, we got all that done. Torque converter bolted. I put these little covers over the holes. Oh, you can't really see anything. Yep, right there. This is all good to go. I'm going to bolt the bottom of this transmission mount in, and then let's put the transfer case in. Alright, let's try this with the jack. I'm feeling lazy. Oh, I almost forgot something. Man, am I glad I remembered this. This is a spacer. Yep. Gotta take this out and put it where this seal is, because this has this spacer clocking ring. This has this spacer clocking ring on it because it's a lifted truck. It helps the driveline angle. So this spaces that out that much. So we're gonna have to replace that. All right, let's try this again. I'd be lazy. It probably would have been safer just to pick it up and put it in there. This sucks. Should have planned this way better. This is not good. That was stupid. Alright, got that transfer case all bolted up, seated. Let's get all these connectors hooked up and these two transmission lines. Well, home stretch now. Got all those plugs connected. Got the two trans lines in. Check out these little brackets here. This is from the company. The stock trans didn't have this to hold that nut. Got all our drive lines in. Last thing is fill her up with some fluid. Gotta fill the transfer case too. And we'll see if this thing works again. I think I'm gonna put about 12 in. And then we'll start it and then go from there. Okay, go ahead, start it and get it to neutral.